If there is one menswear piece that is the most intriguing in the world, it is the Scottish kilt. From fiery football matches, grand parades to classic weddings and ancient castles, everywhere you look, Scottish men proudly sport the kilt, a traditional kilt with a distinctive check pattern. While most Western cultures associate skirts with women, how did Scottish men turn the skirt into a symbol of masculinity and strength? Is this just a historical joke? Or is there a heroic story behind it? First of all, let's get rid of the idea that Scottish men wore skirts like women. The costume they were wearing was called a kilt, a completely different type of clothing, and was designed specifically for combat. The kilt was not a full skirt like women, but was actually a piece of woolen cloth, 4 to 8 meters long, very long indeed, wrapped around the waist and secured with a belt, the rest of it folded in the back. Before the 16th century, the Scots mainly wore long tunics like many other places in Europe, but the warriors in the Scottish Highlands, also known as the Scottis Highland, quickly realized that such clothes were not suitable for battle. They needed a garment that would help them move quickly, easily traverse forests, climb mountains, and be ready for battle at any time. And so the kilt was born. But it was more than just a combat skirt. The kilt had many more tools. Imagine that when it was cold, its long fabric could be rolled up over the shoulders to form a shirt to keep warm. When it rained, it could become a cover, preventing water from seeping into the clothes inside. Or when sleeping outdoors, warriors could spread it out as a blanket, helping them resist the harsh weather of the Highlands. When going into battle, just by removing the top, the soldier can rush into battle with a neat outfit. In short, the kilt is not a skirt, but a very versatile combat outfit of the Scottish man. And if you pay attention, you will see that not all are the same. Each kilt had its own unique check pattern, not only for beauty, but also for great significance, representing a clan in Scotland. In Scotland in the Middle Ages, clans were the most important units in a society. Each clan had its own land, its own laws, and its own army. Warriors from the same clan would wear similar kilt designs, making it easy to identify each other on the battlefield. Even if you go to Scotland today, you can find hundreds of different designs, each one associated with a clan, a place, or a historical event. It is not only a symbol of fire, but also a sign of identity of each clan. However, this costume also had to go through a very arduous journey. In the 18th century, kilt was not only a costume, but a symbol of Scottish independence. During the Scottish uprising in the mid-18th century, Scottish soldiers wore kilts to fight against the British Royal Army. Seeing the spiritual power of this outfit, the British government issued a very strict law. Anyone wearing a kilt would be imprisoned or banished. It was also a way to reduce Scottish culture. But instead of killing the kilt, the band made the Scots even more proud of their clothing. Many wore kilts in secret to show their national loyalty. Finally, in 1782, the ban was lifted, and from then on, the kilt became an irreplaceable symbol in Scotland. So it was banned, but not forgotten. It survived history to become a proud symbol. Today, the kilt is not only for warriors because people do not fight anymore, but it has become an outfit for important events. In traditional Scottish weddings, the Scottish groom often wears a kilt to show national pride. Even in football matches, traditional fans often wear kilts to show solidarity. Or during the Highland Games, men will wear it to participate in traditional games such as tree throwing, tug of war, and cross-country running. And in the Scottish Army, the kilt is still official dress on special occasions. As such, from the battlefield to modern life, it has always been a strong symbol of Scotland. And here's a fun question. If you ever set foot in Scotland and are bold enough to ask a man wearing a kilt, what's in there? What's down there? Be prepared for a sly smirk or a hilarious response. This question has become one of the funniest myths associated with traditional Scottish clothing. The truth is that no one, other than men wearing kilts, can be sure of the answer. But that didn't stop the world from being curious. So this became a controversial topic, full of interesting anecdotes and funny situations in history. Not wearing shorts, not only a habit, but also considered a symbol of strength and pride. A real Scottish man doesn't need layers of fabric to prove his mettle. They believe that a true warrior should feel free, even in his clothing. And so, a traditional kilt was worn in the most wild and proper way possible, that is, without the triangle inside. Legend has it that in the 18th century, an English officer, while inspecting the Scottish army, curiously asked a soldier, "Do you wear anything under your kilt?" The soldier clearly replied, "Only what God has given me, sir." The statement immediately became a proud affirmation and was passed down from generation to generation. History has recorded situations where people could not hide the truth. During World War II, when the British Army conducted a surprise inspection, officers ordered Scottish soldiers to line up and jump up and down. In a flash, they discovered that the long-standing rumor was true. But the story doesn't end there. The anecdote goes that a nurse who once worked in the army said that when she was taking care of a wounded Scottish soldier, when she needed to check his wound, she accidentally lifted the kilt and was shocked to discover that there was nothing underneath it. Even in the modern Scottish army, there is a humorous ritual that senior officers are allowed to do, which is to use a small mirror to look under the soldier's kilt to check if they are really following the tradition. This was not compulsory, but was an inside joke among Scottish soldiers. Although the kilt has been a natural tradition for hundreds of years, things have changed a bit these days. For formal events like wedding parades and assemblies, many Scots choose to wear special boxer shorts or boxer shorts underneath the kilt to avoid any awkward incidents. Some manufacturers even design special underwear for those who want to keep the tradition, but still feel safe. But not everyone is willing to change for big events. When Scotland participates in physical games, such as tree throwing or tug-of-war, many people choose to stick to tradition, despite the risk of exposing themselves during the competition. A survey conducted in 2016 showed that 45% of Scots still keep the habit of wearing nothing underneath, while 55% choose to wear boxers to suit more modern fashion. There are many countries in the world where men wear scales. If the Scottish kilt is there, Greece has a similar version called feudanilla. This is a type of skirt which was once the costume of ancient Greek warriors. It may look quite feminine in today's perception, but in fact it was a symbol of courage, strength, and the free spirit of the warriors. It is still worn today in festivals and ceremonies by the Greek military, especially the honor guards who stand guard in front of parliament buildings. Interestingly, this skirt has 400 pleats, symbolizing the 400 years of Ottoman rule in Greece, a reminder of the country's turbulent history. Or if you look at men in India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, you will see many of them wearing a kind of cloth wrapped around their waist like a skirt instead of wearing long pants. In the Pacific countries such as Sri Lanka, Thongjie, Fiji, men also rarely wear long pants, but instead wear a type of clothing called lava lava, a traditional wrap skirt. Lava lava is usually made from cotton or silk with many beautiful patterns. People in the Pacific Islands wear it because the hot climate helps the body to release heat more easily. In addition, lava lava also shows cultural respect for tradition because this is the costume used by their ancestors for 200 years. Interestingly, even the Thongjie army and police wear lava lava in official ceremonies. And you, are you ready to have a suit like a Scottish man?